Hello everyone, this is Sam Car Legion. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another new vehicle, the 2021 Kia Sorento. It is probably one of the most exciting SUVs of 2021. And today I'm going to show you all the details that you need to know and why I think you should pick the Sorento over the Kia Telluride. We'll go into detail and explain you exactly everything you need to know. And the beautiful thing for today's video, we have the top trim, which is called the SX Turbo with the turbocharged engine. And of course, we're going to take it for a test drive. For this video, special thanks goes to our good friends at Mississauga Kia for allowing me to borrow the Kia Sorento, 2021 Kia Sorento, the SX Turbo, and show you what it's all about and why I think it is probably one of the best SUVs of 2021. So let's get started. But first, let's talk about the actual pricing for the US and Canada. The top trim for the US has a different name compared to Canada, but it's also an SX and it offers a turbocharged engine. Also for this year, we finally receive a Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid and a hybrid model. I love the fact that Kia is moving towards electrifying their fleet, and this is one perfect example. Now, the most exciting thing about this car for me is how it drives on the road, because it is equipped with a dual clutch transmission. And of course, the engine under the hood makes a lot more horsepower than the previous generation. The SX Turbo is the top trim for Canada. It's the same thing for the US. The price starts at about $47,000. Now, compared to the Telluride, that is a very good position to be in. And for what it offers, it's a very competitive vehicle compared to other vehicles within the same segment. In the US, starts at about $42,000 or so. You have the option to pick the lower trims, which starts at about $34,000. The next thing we want to talk about is my favorite part about this vehicle is, of course, the design. Kia says that the front end of this vehicle, it is designed in a way inspired by animals such as a tiger. Not sure if you can see that kind of design around this area, but either way, it doesn't matter because in my opinion, this thing looks pretty good. It is so appealing and of course, such a sexy vehicle. With this color, it's absolutely stunning. And also you have the blacked out frame all the way through. Love it. You also get an X line if you want to take it for an off-road. It's about 1 inch higher off the ground compared to the standard Sorento. Beautiful feature to have, and especially a great option for a 3-row SUV. Yes, this thing is actually a 3-row SUV, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Now let's move on under the hood and let me show you everything you need to know about this and the options that you get for 2021. In total, you have the option to pick 4 engines. So you have 2 combustion engines and 2 hybrids. You have a standard hybrid and a plug-in hybrid. The first one, it's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder 8-speed automatic transmission that makes 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. It is, of course, offered in front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive system that uses torque vectoring with center locker differential. And the second option, it's the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine equipped with an 8-speed wet dual clutch automatic transmission that makes 281 brake horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque, and it is offered in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Now, the beautiful thing is that most dual clutch transmissions tend to not offer an option for towing. This can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is quite impressive for the transmission that is equipped with. The other options we have, of course, is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbo hybrid with a 44 kilowatts electric motor and a 6-speed automatic transmission that can make 227 brake horsepower, and it is, of course, a front-wheel drive. The next option, it is more powerful. It is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which it is a plug-in hybrid, and it comes with a 66.9 kilowatts electric motor. Now, this is available in 2021, but later on, it's not available in the market yet. It will be equipped with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and this thing makes 261 brake horsepower. It is estimated to give 30 miles all-electric range, and it, of course, an all-wheel drive. So you have quite a lot of options to pick. Now, some of those engines are not offered with the lower trim. The model we have for today's video is actually the turbocharged engine, which makes quite a lot of horsepower. Now let's move on to the rear end and let's talk about something familiar and similar. Something that a good friend of mine pointed out. The tail lights, you see, they look like very much the ones on the Mach-E, the Ford Mach-E. Very similar, but that doesn't mean that they're exactly the same. They just have their resemblance. What I do love about the style and the combination with everything else in this area, the disappointing part I find with the rear end is the fact that they've used this Audi style where they hide the exhaust and you have this fake look in. I get it, they want to make it look sportive and all that, I understand that, but if they have actually added proper exhaust tips in there, it would have made a huge difference. The exhaust is actually located under here. The beautiful thing though in the rear end that I love is the fact that they've made it so minimalistic in certain areas. So for example, you don't see the wiper in here at all. They've hidden. It's right inside. Absolutely love that. And you don't see the buttons over here. They're located right in this side. So you can open through here. It's of course hands-free tailgate, and then you have the option to open through here. Press this button and it is powered tailgate. Now, things get a bit disappointed around this area, but you still have the option to fix that problem. The reason is that because it has 3 rows, now you lose a lot of space in here. So you can basically fit maybe a gym bag in here or maybe some lunch bag or anything small because it won't take a lot. But if you don't use the 3rd row, what you can do is fold the seat in here completely, and now you have yourself more space, which gives you about 75 cubic feet of space in total. It's quite a lot. And you do the same thing for this side. So in total for this car, for this model, we have 6 seats. So we have 2 in the back, 2 captain chairs in the center, and of course the 2 seats in the front. But the beautiful thing about the actual 3rd row is that they offer a climate unit for the 3rd row. Like, that is quite impressive. We finished everything you need to know about this area. Now let's jump into the 3rd row and let's talk about space and of course technology. Then we'll move on to the rest. To get into the 3rd row, you have a couple of options. First, you can press this button over here and it folds. You also have a button over here, which of course you can use it when you're sitting into the 3rd row. That way you can have easy access to get into the 3rd row or come out. Now let's try to get into the 3rd row. It's gonna be a pretty tough situation because I am a tall person. Let's try. Okay. Well, it's actually nice and comfortable. You get some space. Let's try to put the seat back. Here we go. There we go. Well, it's not that bad actually. In terms of technology in the rear end, as I said, we have the climate unit. We have 2 USB ports, 1 on each side. It has about 8 USB ports in total, which is quite impressive. And you have buttons over here onto the right side for the 2nd row. So you can actually fold the seats from here, maybe stretch your legs a bit and just enjoy a drive and make sure you have your seatbelt on. Isn't this perfect? If you want to sit in the back and lay down on a long trip, you can do that. You can also move the seat a little bit more and then give yourself more space. And now you can enjoy the drive. I love this. Now let's try to come out of this thing. Okay. You know, it's not the most fun car. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, the thing is that the Telluride, this is where the Telluride wins over this thing. It's because the 3rd row for someone my height, it's actually not the best. Into the 2nd row. As I said, we have captain chairs in here. So you have those side parts over here. You can relax, very nice and comfortable. What's the difference between this and the Kia Telluride? Well, you don't have a full climate unit control in here, unlike in the Telluride. You only have some air vents in this side and the USB ports located at the bottom. And of course, you have 150 volts to charge your laptop or anything that can support that kind of voltage. It has heated seats for both seats in the back, and you have a beautiful panoramic roof, again like the Kia Telluride. The other thing that I noticed with this is that in the Telluride I do feel that you have a bit more space, but the difference actually not that big between this and the Telluride. In terms of leg room and all that, I actually feel more comfortable here and it doesn't feel as big. Absolutely love. We have the sunshade onto the side, cup holder in here, cup holder in there, more space into the center here for anyone that wants to use this. Maybe you'll put your lunchbox or anything like that. And don't forget, more USB ports on the side, very similar to other Kia vehicles. Very nice and comfortable. The other little details that I noticed with this is that onto the side in this area over here, they actually have a little clip, so you can actually clip the seat belt so that it doesn't hang around. Well thought from Kia. Love that little detail. The air vents in the center, of course, massive square style. Absolutely love what they've done. This thing gets more than spacious, more than you need. Now, let's jump into the front and let's start first with the driver's side. Let me show you what it offers, because it offers quite a lot of features. So here's what we have. First of all, the sitting position here, nice and comfortable, power seats for both sides. And for the driver's side, we have a leg extension. As you can see, you can change the position, extend it, and so on. Very nice and comfortable. Love the sitting position. Not too big. Everything in here, it's perfect for the driver. You also have a massive screen for the cluster, and of course, similar to the Kia Telluride and the Santa Fe and so on, it offers that blind view spot assist. Amazing feature to have. So use your turning signal, you can see on the left side, use it on the right side. A very similar feature offers in other vehicles. Now, in terms of the position here, I find nice and comfortable. You can stretch your legs. It's not too high, it's not too low. I think this could be my favorite driving position for an SUV of this caliber. I absolutely love how it's designed in here. From the steering wheel, have pedal shifters and so on. Nice and comfortable. We're also going to take this for a test drive. What else do we got? We have a Bose audio system, of course, and power seats in here. We have the child lock, the door handle on the side here, and then we have 2 memory seats for the driver's side, nothing for the passenger side. Now, let's jump into this area and let's talk about what it offers in here and how does it compare to the Kia Telluride. Okay, so first, let's talk about the cluster. It is, of course, digital. It's like 12.3-inch big. It's huge. We have a heads-up display that shows quite a lot of information. Everything you see in here is very similar to other Kia style. Now, in terms of the actual design, I kind of like this style. It's well balanced. Everything is in the position where it should be. You don't get overwhelmed with everything in here. It's easy to find. Climate unit is right in here. Then we have the massive infotainment system in here. You can get an 8-inch for the lower trims or the 10.25-inch. It's the same thing with the Hyundai Santa Fe, the new one, which I did a review. You can find that link in the description box. Into this area, we have 2 cup holders, some space here. You can put some coins. Basically an armrest, more space here to slide your phone. This is equipped with a wireless charging pad located in here. Then we have 3 USB ports, 2 to charge your battery and 1 to connect your phone. And then into this area we have the driving modes. We have comfort, exactly the same as the Kia Telluride. You can have drive, terrain, auto hold, downhill assist. It is equipped with the 360 camera. As you can see, you can change the views as well. Crisp, beautiful infotainment system. The infotainment system, the software itself is the new generation, and it offers quite a lot of technology. Now, compared to the Kia Telluride, this thing has very, very similar tech features. And of course, it is a touchscreen. Now, if we go into details, we go into media, go into home, and then of course, we have the built-in navigation system, you have the UVO app, which in another video, I'll go into detail how to use it because it offers quite a lot of features. At the same time, you have the passenger talk, so you don't actually have to raise your voice. What it does is that the microphone picks your voice and it goes through all the speakers through the Bose system. It is equipped with the Bose audio system, beautiful and crisp. And then we have the quiet mode as well. Again, very similar to the Kia Telluride. So you're getting quite a lot of those features. So what happens with the quiet mode is that the music is played in the front, not in the back. So in case you have kids in the back, you don't have to bother them, let them sleep, and then beautifully plays only in the front so you and your partner can enjoy a nice radio. Absolutely love that. They've thought about everything. We also have a notification bell as well here if you want to operate through this for the UVO. And in my opinion, it's very much exactly the same as the Kia Telluride, so you're not missing much in here. And the new generation also To add to that, you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. But what's important is that you can connect the three wirelessly. You don't have to do any of that cables in here and make a mess and so on. You can connect, and you can connect two phones at the same time, simultaneously. That's quite impressive. That's an amazing technology. So everything in here remains very much the same as you'd find in other Kia Telluride. The design itself is what impressed me the most. It's not overly done. The vents here may be a little, but at the same time, it complements the car very well. It's exactly what you would expect from a Kia vehicle. The same design, same features pretty much. Shapes change here and there. The cluster now, the new one, the Sorento, is very much different from what you get in the Kia Telluride, and very different from what you get in the Hyundai Palisade. It is sharper, it is a bit boxy and so on, but I absolutely love it. Then you get on this side the climate unit, dual climate zone. We have heated seats and ventilated seats. Quite a lot of features offered in this vehicle. Absolutely love that. Let me know in the comment below, what do you think about the interior design of the new Sorento? How do you think it is? How does it compare to the Kia Telluride? To me, the difference is very much minimalistic, but I kind of like this. It's nice. I like it, and I love the fact that it's sort of like a minivan, because everything gets right in here. Everything, it's not tilted. It's just perfect, easy access for the driver. As you can see, the sitting position is nice and comfortable. I've covered everything you need to know about the Kia Sorento, the new 2021 Kia Sorento, the SX Turbo, the fully loaded Sorento. It is time now to take it for a drive. I'm very excited because this thing is supposed to be a lot of fun and quite fast compared to the Kia Telluride, and that's what I'm going to show you next. So let's go for a test drive. So let's go for a drive and let's talk about the new Kia Sorento. I'm very excited about this because I've been waiting to drive this thing for a while, and I absolutely love SUVs. You guys know that. Not really, but it's such an exciting vehicle because it brings so much to the market. And in my opinion, this thing could easily overtake the market. It would be such an amazing option and an absolute competitor to any other vehicle. I mean, the closest one that would get to this vehicle as an SUV would be the Tiguan, which offers 3 rows. But that is slightly outdated. The next one would be the Mercedes GLB, which offers 3 rows as well. I know it's a weird comparison to the Mercedes, but let's be honest, some of those Mercedes are not high luxury vehicles. This will do the job just fine. It offers the same features as well in some cases. So it's such a competitive vehicle. Now, what is Kia trying to do with this machine compared to the Telluride? Because now some people are going to get confused. Why should I buy the Telluride? Well, don't forget something that is important. Behind the third row, you're not getting much space in the Sorento. You're getting a little bit of space. So what Kia is doing here is offering options to the families that have a small they have not many kids. So for example, if you have 2 kids and it's just yourself and your wife, this will be perfect because now you have the third row in case if you have, let's say, anyone joining and you need more space, right? That is something to keep in mind, and that's what Kia is doing with this. They're not trying to kill the Telluride. And when I say that I want to pick the Telluride over this is because for the position you're in. So for example, if you have 3 kids, then yes, the Telluride will be your option if you're looking for more space, because for long trips, this is not going to be the best. If you have a child seat, it's very difficult to get into the third row. So that's something to keep in mind. In the Telluride, you will be getting that space. In here, it's a bit different. It's a bit tighter as well. But what they're thinking about is for the small families. And then the next 3-4 years, they're saying if your family grows, you can move on to the Telluride. You have the option, get rid of the Sorento, move on. I think they're doing a great job with that. I know exactly what they're targeting. And I like this. I like the fact that they're giving options to buyers out there that don't want that kind of big SUV. I would rather pick this in my position. I don't have children, but in the next few years I will do. And if I wanted to pick an SUV, I think this would be the option because it is powerful. I need a bit of a power. 277 horsepower, that's quite impressive. Dual clutch transmission, good towing capacity for a small SUV. On top of that, the dual clutch transmission. It's comfortable. That is for sure. It feels nice and comfortable. It doesn't feel very big in here. This is what I like about the Sorento. Oh! Whoa, and it's not even in sport. What is this? Hello, Sorento. I am liking this. It has a bit of a power kick. Now, compared to the Telluride that feels a bit dull, this is a bit more exciting. I love this thing. I love what they're trying to do with this. Driver assistant package, the same thing in here. Let's turn it on. And you have that HDA option, which basically keeps you within the lane. Let's turn on lane assist now as well. And then the driving steering wheel, this little button onto the steering wheel, and it's literally driving for you. It'll keep you within the lanes, not bouncing left and right. Now we got a brake. It has a stop and go option, a lot of safety features for collision warning, blind spot assist. On top of that, you have this thing here. If you turn left and then you turn right, it will show you the blind view monitor. So it basically has cameras on the side, very similar to the Kia Telluride. And they're not trying to cut off the sales off the Telluride at all. In my opinion, this for some people will not be sufficient in terms of space. And as I said, the third row is quite impractical compared to the Telluride. It would be very tough for you to put a child seat in the back. I got in the back. It's easy to get in, sort of. It's nice and comfortable to sit in there, but if it was a 4-hour road trip, I wouldn't want to be in the third row. Someone shorter than me, if you're 5'5", yeah, you would enjoy that. If you were taller than that, you'd have a bit of a hard time. But let's be honest, most third rows are almost useless unless you're driving a Yukon Denali or the, let's say, Escalade. Those are some of the options, or the X7. But even the X7, it's not near to that. I love this blind spot view. It's so smart because you don't actually have to turn your head around. Now let's talk about visibility. How is the visibility in this vehicle? I think it's pretty good for the second row. The third row, the window, it's a bit smaller, but most of the time, why would you even turn your head? It's right there. You can see it clearly. You can see it clearly. And I've used that option during rainy days. So some people will say, well, Sam, maybe that's not nice to use during rainy days. Nah, it's still very good. As long as it's raining and it's not snowing heavily, you will be fine. But if it's like sluggish outside, it gets a bit dirty. It also tells you in here that the system it's completely off. I love what Kia is doing with the Sorento. I love their approach and I love the target. Because in the next 2 years, I will be one of those targets that wants something that is not too big, but it has a bit of power, yet fuel efficient. And it also has a hybrid and a plug-in hybrid coming later this year. Can't ask for more. Better fuel efficiency, amazing vehicle. Some people will question Kia's position when it comes to making all these vehicles and bringing new vehicles every 3-4 years pretty much. Well, yeah, because this is technically the third generation. The thing is that you need to keep in mind that as a brand, what they care about is giving customers the best options possible and the best vehicles. Also, look at this. Tight corner. Way too tight, so you gotta keep your hands on the wheel. They turn off the steering. But it still steers itself. Now it's turned on because you realize there is, you have the side, the lines on its side. It's a bit tight here, so I'm not gonna try to test it out in this area. The next thing we'll do a test is the noise cabin at certain speed and the power delivery. When it's in normal mode, it revs too high and it doesn't go. I think in sport mode that might change. So once we get to the nice road, I'll hammer it down and show you exactly what it's all about, because it does have a power kick. That is for sure. It's quick. It feels quick. It actually feels quick, and it drives nicely. I like it. This thing drives how it's supposed to. It delivers what it says. You don't expect a lot more than that, but I like it. I like how it drives, and yeah, it feels pretty quick in my opinion. Let's do a quick launch control and let's see how will it take off on a launch control. I'm gonna do one right now. Here we go. It won't go into a launch control. It was raving up to 2,000. This is exactly what the Kia Stinger does sometimes. Let's turn off the traction in here. Traction is disabled completely. Traction and stability control. I think maybe this will let the car rev at higher RPM. Okay. No, only 2,000. It won't do a full launch control. It won't rev as higher than that. Okay. It's not a vehicle for that kind of experience, in my opinion. It does the job. Now, let's try into comfort mode and let's do a cabin noise test at about 80 kilometers an hour. 59.7. That is a very good number. 59.7 at 70 kilometers an hour, actually. That is the speed limit around this area. That is quite interesting. It feels very quiet inside. I think this car is very good, in my opinion. It's just perfect. They've done a fantastic job. It has the power, it feels comfortable, it feels quiet inside. Everything you need, you have it right in here. I would 100% pick this in my position, and I think if you have 2 children, you have small family, you would agree with me over the Telluride any day. It just offers everything you need in this vehicle. In the next few weeks, I'm going to compare this against other vehicles. If you have a specific vehicle that you want to compare it against, you let me know and I'll make it happen just for you, because in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have 2 models available to compare. With that in mind, thanks for watching. Especially thanks goes to Mississauga Kia guys for allowing me to borrow this and show you what it's all about. It's a fantastic vehicle, in my opinion, for what it costs. Unbeatable. Stay safe, people. Cheers.